Croeso, welcome back to Cottage Diary. I'm so sorry that it's been so long. I think the last time you heard from us was January. There has been some various things going on that we've had to deal with, but yes, I've been desperate to give you an update on the garden. So here it is. So today is March the 24th and spring has most definitely sprung. I don't know what I can show you from this angle. Which is incredibly exciting. I've got some snake's head fritillaries right next to me. It's got to be my favourite season, the spring. It's such a season of hope, no matter what's going on in this crazy human world of ours. Nature carries on and spring comes eventually, and when it comes it brings such joy and hope, doesn't it? So I hope that our little part of Wales, our little garden in Wales, gives you some joy and hope for the duration of the video. So lovely to have you back in the garden, friends, and we'll speak soon. And this is another one of Daisy's creations. She made it for me on Mother's Day because my other willow tripod had disintegrated. I think she's done a great job. Looks really cute, really rustic and wonky. I love it. So this is what the garden looks like now without the shed. Oh, it would help if my hand wasn't in the way. Sorry about that. Yeah, this is what the garden looks like without the shed. It looks very odd to me. I've still got a bit of clearing to do. And I think that I'll probably bring the table and chairs from up in the wild wood down. As you know, I had planned to put up a new shed there, but the quote that I had been given was £12,000, and that was with me providing the windows, the doors and the roof on top of that. So that just isn't viable for me. But actually it's really nice to be able to see all of the stone wall. And I think it may look really cute to have a table and chairs there and some pots. So yeah, when I've done it, I'll show you, of course. But it does look, oh my goodness, I can't hold this without showing my hand. Yeah, it does look very bare without the shed. But it had to go, it was completely dilapidated. So this is quite a sweet little pot. It's got the grape hyacinth in. I think this is the one that's, yeah, it's called Oxford Cambridge, so it's sort of got the two blues of the two prestigious universities in the UK. Obviously Daisy went to Oxford, so I thought it was appropriate when I was looking for grape hyacinths that I get that one. And this tulip is called Apricona, and then in amongst it there are also lots of crocus which have gone over, and also some winter aconite which have gone over, sadly. You can see a splash of orange by here. This is the GM Totally Tangerine, which I thoroughly recommend people putting in their gardens. I put it in all my clients' gardens, and yeah, it's just amazing because it starts flowering from February the latest and just goes on till about October. It's incredible if you keep deadheading it. I mean, it's only just started here, but yeah, it's amazing. And then I love this, I don't know what it's called, sorry, this hellebore, this lovely yellow hellebore with pink spots. You see the gorse over there. I do love the gorse. You see the camellia, it's enormous. It's been amazing. I'm so sorry you're not seeing it. at its peak. It's obviously going over now, but it was incredible. I've trained it, as you can see, to go over the gate, and so you have this camellia tunnel coming up the garden steps, which feels very secret garden to me. The pond is looking pretty good. Daisy kindly cleaned it out in the winter for me, but it's already full of leaves again. But we've got so many tadpoles and newts and things in there that it's obviously healthy enough, so we're pleased about that. And the yellow flowers that you can see, they're a native. They're called king cup, and I think they're just stunning at this time of year. Lovely pond plants, and in front of it another native, which are the snake's head fritillaries. And I have literally put in dozens of snake's head fritillary plants over the years into this garden. They always get eaten by the pheasants, so I've put, you can probably see, I've had to take measures, so I've put spiky holly around them so the pheasants can't walk close enough to nip the flowers off. I wouldn't even mind if they actually ate them, but all they do is delight in nipping them off and then just chucking them on the ground. So yeah, this literally, even though I have, and so many of them haven't survived because they've been nibbled to the ground, but I've actually managed to have, I don't know if you can see the other one over there, 3 around the pond, and I've got a couple elsewhere. Oh, I'm just delighted with it. I've got my native lords and ladies here, these sort of spear-shaped leaves, which I'm really hoping will flower this year, because this part of the garden, my inspiration was always, when I was a child, one of my favourite books, along with The Faraway Tree, was a book by Molly Brett, and there was one illustration in particular. It wasn't an illustration of a garden, it was of a woodland, but I always said to myself, one day if I ever have a garden, I want to sort of try and recreate the feel of this illustration, because I just thought it was one of the most magical I've ever seen. So I will insert the picture of the illustration that I'm talking about, and I'm getting there. I mean, I've got bluebells that are about to come. It's not worth showing you because they haven't actually started flowering yet, but yeah, it's very much getting the feel of the Molly Brett illustration, so I'm delighted about that. Sorry, I just need to revel in my snake's head fritillaries for a little bit longer, because I'm just delighted I've got them this year. And I don't know if the camera will show you all the wriggling in the pond. Can you see? Oh, can you hear the ducks on the river? Bless them. Yes, I think you can see them. There are absolutely hundreds of them. The pulmonaria are always so pretty at this time of year. I've got this, it really is an electric blue one. Sorry for the amateur filming. And I'll go and take you to see the others. I switched myself off by mistake. I have this pink one, and then I have this lovely soft blue one, but look at the spots on the leaves. I just think it's wonderful, which is of course why it's called pulmonaria or lungwort, because our ancestors thought that the leaves looked like diseased lungs. And this is green alkanet, which is quite invasive. It does spread everywhere, but it is a really good plant for pollinators. So if you maybe tuck it somewhere where you don't mind it going bananas, but yeah, don't maybe put it in a prized border because it will just take over. Look how stunning it is. Really is very pretty. And of course my hellebore are flowering, but you're sort of seeing them after their first big flush, so I've deadheaded them, a lot of them, so they're not looking that impressive, hoping that they will then give me more. This is one of my favourites actually. It's Augustifolia, and it's just a sort of creamy, yellowy, greeny colour, but I just love the way the light hits it at this time of year. So pretty. And the forget-me-not just started flowering, and I've got a big sort of nursery bed of forget-me-not that I've gathered that were sort of in the wrong place, which now it's starting to flower. I'll start dotting about in spaces in the garden that there aren't any. This is my favourite narcissi. It's Thalia. It's just Thalia, the basic white one. But I love it because it provides food for pollinators. I love that sort of soft white in the garden at this time of year. And it also has a nice scent. So yeah, it's a winner. I just think it looks really beautiful and a little bit more to my taste than the sort of big bright yellow ones. And I'm not sure if all of the daffodils have food for pollinators either, but I do know that Thalia does. And I don't think you can beat Primula vulgaris, our native primrose. It's simple, but it's so pretty. I absolutely love primroses. The periwinkle, which I think I showed you in December or January, is still flowering, so that's very successful. Then that's the green alkanet again. And there's a skimmia. That's the skimmia just behind the green alkanet. Again, amazing for wildlife. And if you do want a little shrub for a shady spot, I would highly recommend the skimmia, which is this dark green one here, because the flowers are just, it's Q green, I think this one. The flowers are intoxicating, of course, amazing for wildlife. But you know, you've got a lovely evergreen shrub which you can put in the shade. It flowers, it's got an amazing scent, and it's great for wildlife. So, and you know, you can keep it as big as you want to, really. And probably my favourite blossom, the blackthorn, because it's just so stunning against the almost black branches. And the antique white, very delicate blossom. I absolutely love it. It's just coming out here. It seems quite late. I have seen it out elsewhere for quite some time. And I planted lots of native violets in the garden, but I just love the way they then decide to pop themselves where they want to. There's one just on the edge of the path here. And then look at that beauty, just giving you a cheery nod as you walk up the garden steps. Is it just me, or just that little things like that give me so much joy? It makes me so happy every time I walk past them. And I have deliberately left dandelions. They are so amazing for wildlife. They're such a good resource. Then they are very welcome to plonk themselves wherever they want to in my garden. In fact, I'm probably one of very few people on the planet that actually complains that I don't have enough dandelions in the garden. I do try and encourage as many as possible because they're brilliant for wildlife, but also if I had enough, I would want to pick them and make dandelion honey, which is a lovely vegan alternative to honey. But I don't feel that I've got enough to justify taking away the food resource for the pollinators. So I haven't quite got enough yet. And the Bowls Mauve perennial wallflower is just starting to flower here. There's lots of flower buds on it. That's lovely for the pollinators and obviously a joy to look at as well. Stunning mauvey colour. Josephine's got quite a nice little selection of flowers going on up here. Look, hellebores, tulips, Thalia narcissi. And I've wanted this to feel quite sort of woodlandy, very natural. So there's some primroses up there. I've got pulmonaria. I have got snake's head fritillary down here, but I don't know what the chances are of it getting to flower. Oh my goodness, there's a flower. Hang on. The pheasants can't have spotted this one. Otherwise they would have munched it, can you see? Or pulled it off anyway. Oh, how exciting. I didn't think that had any hope. Can you see Brunnera Jack Frost up there? It's got little forget-me-not type flowers, but it's stunning just for the leaves. Those lovely silvery mottled leaves. I've decided I don't know if you can see, yeah, you can just about see the pulmonaria there as well. I've started planting into this wild area, give it a bit more interest. And I love this comfrey. I'm afraid I was going to say I don't know what it is. I think it's Serbian comfrey. I may have just made that up, but I think so. But it's got sort of pale bluey purple flowers and pink flowers, and there's a sort of iridescence to it. I think it's really, really pretty. This hellebore has been amazing, but my friend helped me take down the shed, and he stood all over this poor hellebore, so they're now feeling a bit sorry for themselves and are a bit squashed. I'm sure they will get over it. But that is a really beautiful one. Look at this little arrangement. Can you see the little violet peeking at the bottom? And I think this is a false oxlip, this yellow. And then the forget-me-nots just starting. What a pretty little trio. So I've come, oh, my hand. So I've come up a bit closer for you to see. It's actually a really big space. I have to do something with that water pipe because that's a bit ugly, isn't it? But yeah, I think it might be quite nice to have a table and chairs there, because it does sort of, the work, I don't know if the camera picks it up, but the wall sort of curves round, so I think it might be really nice to have that as a dining terrace, or as my friend said, a sundowner place. And look at these. What about that for sweet? It's an epimedium. Isn't it gorgeous? I can't tell you which one it is, because this is one of the very few things that were in the garden when we came. Isn't it pretty though? Look at it. So what they advise you to do is to chop down all the old leaves in the late winter, so then you can see the flowers and it produces new leaves. But oh, these are gorgeous. Again, these love shade, so really would advise growing these. I think they're really cute. Look at them. I can't stop looking at them. Really nice little flower. I had just noticed that my blackthorn that's higher up in the garden is already in flower. Fully in flower, I should say. She's just glorious. So I wanted to show you the willow weaving that Daisy's done for me. I think she's done a brilliant job. She's just done some little willow weaving. There's Brian, look. Some weaving either side of our bridge. I don't know if I've ever explained to you that we've got a bridge from the landing that comes out to the garden, but it feels very cute. And she's done this other panel here. I think it looks really cottagey, and then I've got making this sort of archway with Rosa rugosa, wild rose and hawthorn, which I think will look really pretty. I'll quickly show you in the greenhouse. As you can see, the peach is in blossom. I've been a bit remiss though. I have been very slow to pollinate this year, so we may not actually have much, if any, fruit, but we'll see. And then I decided this year that I would, instead of just leaving, this is where we have our tomatoes in the summer, I thought rather than just leaving it to rest over the winter and spring, I would sow mixed salad leaves. So that's what these are. So that's been a really handy crop to have. And then I've got some carrots that are being completely nibbled by somebody in the pot there, and then some chard and bits in these other pots. I've got my potatoes chitting. I need to put those in this week, I think. And then I sowed some runner beans a little bit early, supposed to wait till April, but I was impatient. So I've sown some runner beans, and then I've just got, this was actually a pane of glass from the old shed, which I've utilised to keep them warm. So this is what the garden looks like now from this angle without the shed. It is really nice seeing that wall, but it's strange that the garden feels a lot more open now. It's less sort of less defined rooms. There's more of an expanse. When I'm filming it, it doesn't look as if there's anything in flower, but it's actually a mass of primroses and forget-me-nots. It's very odd how the camera washes it out, probably because it's not a very good one. I do think it's picking up the flowering currant here, isn't it? Which is just lovely. So look, this is another view of the garden now the shed's gone. I mean, it still isn't very pretty. As I say, there's lots of bits of logs and things that I need to pick up, and the base is still there, the rotten base, so I need to lift that up and dispose of it, and then see what the table and chairs are like. But I think it'll be a really nice spot to sit, actually. Gets a lot of sun there. The birds are making me laugh. They're so loud. Oh. This is a forsythia, really nice shrub that flowers at this time of year, and because I evidently have an obsession for arches, oh, let me zoom you out a bit, I've decided, ignore that, that's the old shed roof. I've decided, I don't know if I can get back enough, decided to try and make an arch with the forsythia and the elder. So there's a willow and flowering currant arch, and then there's now an elder and forsythia arch. You can never have too many arches. Brought you up to the orchard, the cowslips flowering. Again, when the pheasants don't munch them off. And then we've already got, oh my goodness, I don't know, I'm so sorry. I probably have already stopped watching to hear the apology, but I'm sorry I keep having my hand in the way today. It's been too long, I've forgotten how to do this. Already some of my fruit trees are in flower. So this is a plum tree that's in flower. I'm trying to think what variety it is. I'm not sure if it's Victoria. And then this is one of my crab apples that are in flower. I'm particularly thrilled about this because Daisy and I moved it in the autumn and were worried that it was going to sulk, but it seems really happy. So it's just starting to flower. I think this is red sentinel. But it seems happier than where it was, so absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, I wouldn't expect this till mid-April. The birds. And this is ground ivy, not to be confused with what I think hedrohelix or English ivy or poison ivy. But yeah, this is ground ivy, a lovely British native. It's so cute. Look at the sweet little flowers. What lovely faces. And on the steps going up to the wild wood, ooh. So professional. On the steps going up to the wild wood, this lovely Scilla siberica. I've also got cowslips and primroses, but yeah, the pheasants are really destroying it. But so jolly walking up to the wild wood with all of these flowers. Sorry. So what do you think? Do you think I should bring the big picnic table and chairs down and have it there as a little terrace dining area, or if you've got any other ideas, I'll be interested to know. And as always, I absolutely love hearing what's going on in your garden. Do you still have snow? I know some of you dear friends are in the southern hemisphere, so you will have just had the autumn equinox, which is crazy to think. So yes, are things starting to slow down in your garden, or are you still in full flower and is it still very hot? And if you're in the northern hemisphere, have the snow stopped? Has the ground started warming up? Are there any signs of spring? Thank you so much for joining me. It's always lovely to have your company in the garden. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.